And we welcome you to X Stadium for the 85th National Baseball Congress World Series powered by Lonestar Energy. This is the last game of the day here on Sunday evening, and it will feature the visiting team, the Lonestar Baseball Club, out of the Syntex Collegiate League, and it will be facing the San Diego, California Stars out of the Western Baseball Association. The San Diego Stars and the Lone Star Baseball Club are in the D pool, where they both won their first game. The Stars won 4-1 over the Liberal BJs, and they have a +3 differential. I'll explain that later on. The Lone Star Baseball Club are also 1-0, as they got a victory over the Derby Twins by the score of 3-1, and they are +2. Lone Star comes in with a 20-2 record, and San Diego Stars come in with a 17-2 record. And that record may be off by 2 games because there's 2 games I cannot find the final scores on. We're going to give you the starting lineups for today's game. First of all, for the visiting team, the Lone Star Baseball Club, leading off in DH, and it'll be number 5, Ryan McPhail. Batting second, the left fielder, number 6, Sean Denny. Batting third, the center fielder will be number 7, Reed Beverly. Batting fourth and playing first base will be number 32, Charlie Overstreet. Batting fifth and playing second base will be number 1, Miguel Torres. Batting sixth and playing third base will be number 12, Alex Corman. Batting seventh and playing right field will be number 8, Thomas Craig. Batting eighth and catching will be number 21, Justin Taylor. Batting ninth and playing shortstop, number 24, Johnny Hoyle. And pitching for Lone Star will be number 15, Garrett Bowes. The head coach for the Lone Stars is Aaron Smith, assisted by Jamie League. Now here's the starting lineup for the home team, the San Diego, California Stars. Lead off and playing center field will be number 1, Kyle Pineda. Batting second, the designated hitter, number 19, Dallas Seidel. Batting third and playing first base will be number 2, Jesse Jenner. Batting fourth and playing second base will be number 33, Brady Jocelyn. Batting fifth and catching will be number 13, Luke Arias. Batting sixth and playing right field will be number 17, Cabot Van Til. Batting seventh and playing third base will be number 11, Joey Krug. Batting eighth and playing left field will be number 30, Leo Clark. Batting ninth and playing shortstop will be number 3, Tristan Salinas. And pitching for the Stars will be number 99, Jake Surgeon. The coaching staff for the Stars is Mickey D, Sam Hughes, and Anthony Fernandez. We're about ready to get underway. Once again, pitching for San Diego will be number 99, Jake Surgeon. The first batter for Lone Star will be the designated hitter, number 5, Ryan McPhail. Ball hits into the between shortstop and third, in for a base hit. One pitch, and McPhail records his first hit of the tournament as he was 0 for 4 in the first game. Once again, we're just underway. This is Frank Martinez. I'll be your play-by-play announcer. We hope you enjoy tonight's action. Now batting for Lone Star Baseball will be the left fielder, number 6, Sean Denning. Denning comes in batting .333. There's a fly ball into left field. Left fielder Clark backing up, making the catch for out number 1. So going back to first base will be McPhail. Now to bring up the center fielder, number 7, Reed Beverly. Beverly comes in batting .250 as he was 1 for 4 in the first game. We have some scores from the earlier games, the 11 o'clock game. It was the game day Colorado Saints 8-0 over the Hayesville, Kansas Aviators. And then in our second game, that started at 2 o'clock, scheduled for 1:30, It was the Derby Kansas Twins, 2-1 over the liberal Kansas BJs. There goes McPhail to second base, and he's going to be in safely. Count is 1-2 now to Beverly. And then in the game that just got done here in the feature game, it was the defending champions, the Santa Barbara, California Forsters, 6-1 winners over the Great Bend, Kansas Batcats. That brings us to this game between the San Diego, California Stars and the Lone Star Baseball Club. Swing and a miss there by Beverly. Goes down swinging for out number 2. It's going to bring up for the Lone Star the first baseman, number 32, Charlie Overstreet. Overstreet also comes in batting .250 as he was 1 for 4 in the first game. So we are underway. Here in the top half of the first inning with no score, there is a runner at second base. That one is fouled off back to the net. So the count goes no balls and 1 strike. I said Overstreet was 1 for 4 as he scored 1 run and had 1 strikeout, batting .250. That one count now goes to 1 ball, 1 strike, as we do have 2 down here in the top half of the first. Our umpires for tonight's game at home plate will be Lance Vaughn. Called strike. So the count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. At first base, Jeff Spacek. And at third base, Mark Wagers. That ball hit up the middle. Shortstop Salinas makes the play at first for out number 3. You're listening to NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Scott Stiles, General Manager of Wichita Burner, right here in beautiful downtown Wichita. I know how important it is to be on a winning team. My winning team of Jim Myers, Ashley Jansen, and Jeff Markowitz are here every day to provide you with the best customer service for your boiler and burner needs. On behalf of our team, we want to wish you and your team the best of luck at this year's 85th Annual NBC World Series. And welcome to Wichita!
And we welcome you back to the 85th National Baseball Congress World Series as we go to the bottom half of the first inning. For the Stars, leading off will be the center fielder, number 1, Kyle Pineda. On deck is Seidel and Jenner in the hole. Once again, pitching for Lone Star will be number 15, Garrett Bowes. Garrett Bowes is a right-hander thrower from Austin, Texas. Comes from a redshirt sophomore from the University of Texas. And defensively for the Lone Star Baseball Club at first base, number 32, Overstreet. Second baseman, number 1, Torres. At shortstop will be number 24, Hoyle. Third baseman, number 12, Kornman. In left field, we have number 6, Denny. Center fielder will be number 7, Beverly. Right fielder, number 8, Craig. Catcher, number 21, Taylor. And once again, pitching, number 15, Garrett Bowes. Leading off the bottom half of the first inning for the San Diego, California Stars, the center fielder, number 1, Kyle Pineda. Pineda comes in batting .250 as he was 1 for 4 in the first ball game. Scored 2 runs and had 2 strikeouts. Fouled off Second pitch fouled off as the count now goes to no balls and 2 strikes. As I was saying, beautiful evening here in Wichita. It is 80 degrees and clear. Scheduled to be 92 tomorrow. That ball hit up the middle. That's going to be a base hit for Pineda. So he will record his second hit of the World Series as he is now 2 for 5. That will bring up the designated hitter, number 19, Dallas Seidel. He comes in batting .333 in the World Series as he was 1 for 3 the first game. He scored 2 runs, 2 base on balls, and 1 strikeout. That one was fouled off for strike 1. The San Diego Stars, who are batting now, have black jerseys with red sleeves, red numbers with white pants, a stripe down the left side, and black helmets. Well, also have red and black helmets, I should say. And for Lonestar Baseball, they have white pants with white hats, blue shirts with the letters LS on their chest. And that may be LC. That one hit, thrown out into center field. The letters intertwine. It is LS, so once again, Pineda is now at second base on a stolen base. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes to Seidel. And here comes Bo's pitch. Swing and a miss there by Seidel as he goes down swinging. That was a 77-mile-an-hour changeup. That will bring up the first baseman, number 2, Jesse Jenner. Jenner also played in the first game. He was 1 for 3 as he's batting .333. Had 1 hit, 1 RBI, and 1 strikeout. In that first game, the Stars defeated the Liberal BJs 4-1. As they had 4 runs on 6 hits and no errors. And the BJs had 1 run off 6 hits and no errors. That game lasted about 2 hours and 26 minutes. As it was scheduled to start at 9:30, it started at 9:53. That one missing for ball 2, so the count will go down to 2 balls and 1 strike. So Jesse Jenner up there now for the Stars with a runner at second base and 1 down. Call strike. Not exactly sure where Jenner was heading to because the count is 2 balls, 2 strikes, and he almost acted like that was ball 4 as he started heading down towards first base. Turned around, just smiles and says something to the home plate umpire. But the count is 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 down. And Bo steps off. So Pineda heads back to second base, and we're ready, reset and ready to go again. That one missing outside. So the count goes full now at 3-2 to Jesse Jenner, the first baseman for the San Diego Stars. That one hit into left field. That's going to be down the line. Diving is Denny, not able to get to it. Pineda comes in to score, and going sliding into third base is Jesse Jenner as he slides ahead first, and he's in with a triple. And first base umpire was right on that call, right at the bag. So Jenner hits a triple and an RBI, as the score now is 1-0 in favor of the San Diego, California Stars. Now batting will be the second baseman, number 33, Brady Jocelyn. Jocelyn comes in batting .667 as he was 2 for 3 in the first ball game. He had 1 RBI and 2 base on balls. That ball hit to the third baseman. Kornman not able to get to it, so another run scores as Jenner took off on the hit. So now the score is 2-0 in favor of the Stars. And that would bring up the catcher, number 13, Luke Arias. So we have an error on the third baseman. And there's a meeting on the mound now, as the Stars are in trouble here in the bottom half of the first inning, as 2 runs have already scored here in the bottom half of the first. And there is a runner at first base with 1 down. It all started off here in the bottom half of the first inning as Pineda hit a base hit. Seidel struck out. And Jenner hit a triple. And then now the error to the third baseman. Second pitch is fouled off. Actually, that was the third pitch, because after the first pitch, there was a timeout. So the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes to Luke Arias. And there goes Jocelyn as the ball's hit to the third baseman. Kornman makes the play at first base for out number 2. So a 5-3 put out. And Jocelyn moves over to second base on the play. We'll bring up the right fielder, number 17, Cabot Van Til. Van Til was 0 for 3 in the first ball game. As he had 2 base on balls and 2 strikeouts. So he's looking for his first hit of the game. First hit of the World Series, actually. That one is fouled off by Van Til. Krug on deck, as there is 2 down here in the bottom half of the first inning. 2-0 in favor of the San Diego Stars. They are playing the Lonestar Baseball Club from the Syntex Collegiate Baseball League. Here's the pitch, an 88-mile-an-hour fastball just missing. So the count now goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. That one missing for ball 3. So 3-1 now the count to the right fielder, Van Til. And here's the pitch. That one fouled off by Van Til, so the count will go full now at 3-2 as the ball came off the padding and out in front of home plate. So catcher Taylor gets out and gets it and gives it back to the home plate umpire. So the count is full at 3-2. 2 down with the runner at second base. 2-0 in favor of the Stars. That missing high for ball 4, so Van Til will reach on a base on balls. And that will bring up the third baseman, number 11, Joey Krug. Krug was 0 for 5 in the first ball game as he struck out 5 times. So he's looking for the first hit here in the World Series. That one is fouled off by Krug. So the count is no balls, 1 strike. We have Jocelyn at second base, who reached on an error, and Van Til at first as he just walked. And 2 down. Ball hit to the right-hand side. First baseman, Overstreet, going over to the seats, but not able to get to it as he runs out of room. So the count will now go to no balls and 2 strikes. In the D pool that both these two teams are in, the Derby Twins, the Liberal Kansas BJs, the Lone Star Baseball Club, and the San Diego California Stars. The Derby Twins are 1-1 now as they won today. Liberal BJs are 1-1. And then the Lone Star Baseball Club is 1-0 as this is their second game. And also the San Diego California Stars 1-0 as this is their second game. Ball hits at the third baseman. It's going to go to first base, and that pulled the first baseman off, but the umpire said he did have his foot on it. So that is the third out. So a 5-3 put out to bottom half of the first inning for the Stars. 2 runs, 2-0 is the score. And you're listening to NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back as we go to the top half of the second inning. The score is 2-0 in favor of the San Diego California Stars over the Lone Star Baseball Club. Leading off for Lone Star will be the second baseman, number 1, Miguel Torres. Torres was 0 for 3 in the first ball game. So Torres is looking for his first hit here in the World Series. First pitch is ball 1 by Jake Sargent. That one calls strike 1, so that will even up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Tomorrow's action will be the Cheney, Kansas Diamond Dogs. They'll be facing the Texas Express at 1 o'clock. That ball hits the third base side, and it is foul. That goes over third baseman's head. Krug. Cheney Diamond Dogs are 2-0 in Pool A. And once again, they'll be facing the Texas Express, who are 1-1. In that pool, Cheney Diamond Dogs are 2-0. The San Diego California Waves are 1-1. The Seattle Washington Studs are 1-1. And the Texas Express also 1-1. So tomorrow's action will have a lot to do who goes on. There's a swing and a miss there by Torres as he goes down swinging for out number 1. It's going to bring up the third baseman, number 12, Alex Kornman. Once again, there is 4 pulls, A, B, C, and D. 4 teams in each pull, and the top 3 teams in each pull will advance. Starting bracket play on Thursday. That one missing for ball 2. So 2-0 now the count to Alex Kornman. Kornman comes in batting .333. That one hit to the right-hand side. That's going to be foul as it gets over the fence. Kornman was 1 for 3 in the first game as he scored 1 run. That one fouled off to the left side this time. So that count will now go to 2 balls, 2 strikes. So 1 o'clock, the Cheney, Kansas Diamond Dogs versus the Texas Express. At 3:30 will be the Fairbanks, Alaska Gold Panthers versus the San Antonio, Texas Angels. That one popped up into the infield. Moving back is the shortstop, Tristan Salinas, making the catch for out number 2. Now batting will be the right fielder, number 8, Thomas Craig. Craig was 0 for 2 in the first ball game. He's looking for his first hit, but he does have 1 RBI and 1 strikeout. Swing and a miss there by Craig. His count goes to no balls and 1 strike. As I was saying, the second game, the Fairbanks, Alaska Gold Panthers and the San Antonio, Texas Angels. And they are in Pool C. And in Pool C, Fairbanks, Alaska Gold Panthers are 2-0. Swing and a miss there by Craig for the third out. So at the end of 1.5, it is the Stars 2 from San Diego and Lonestar Baseball 0. And you're listening to NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com. We'll be right back.
From the sea, come to you. I heard the laughing. Come from the sea, come to you. I'm someone like you. Na 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 na. I'm going to Wichita. I'm going to Wichita. I'm going to Wichita. And I'm going to Wichita.
Learn more at visitwichita.com.
And we welcome you back as we go to the bottom half of the second inning. This game between the San Diego, California Stars and the Lonestar Baseball Club from Texas. The score is 2-0 in favor of the Stars. Leading off the bottom half of the second inning for the Stars will be the left fielder, number 30, Leo Clark. This is the first time at the first appearance for Clark, as this is his first game played. That ball hit to the shortstop. Hoyle goes to first for out number 1. So a 6-3 put out for the first out. 1 pitch and 1 out. That will bring up the shortstop, number 3, Tristan Salinas. Salinas was 0 for 4 in the first ball game. He did have 2 strikeouts in that game. That almost hits Salinas as he moves to his left. That one hit right back at the pitcher on a bounce. Those gets it, goes to first for out number 2. So a 1-3 put out for the second out, and that was hit hard by Salinas, but right back at pitcher Garrett Bowes. That will bring up the center fielder, number 1, Kyle Pineda, who had a base hit in the first inning and scored a run, as Jesse Jenner hit a triple to get the RBI. First pitch is missing for ball 1. So in pool C, as I was talking about, there's a ball hit to the right-hand side, a base hit by Pineda. He records his second hit of the ball game. He'll be at first base and bring up the designated hitter, number 19, Dallas Seidel. Seidel on correction, Seidel. Seidel is from Santee, California. He's a 6'2", 195 pounders, and he's a Stars veteran. Count is 1 ball, no strike now to Seidel. That one called strike 1 on the outside corner. Pineda on at first base as he just recorded his second hit of the ball game, and there is 2 outs here in the bottom half of the second innings. That one missing high at 87 miles an hour for ball 2. And here's Bo's pitch. That one missing outside, so the count will now go to 3 balls and 1 strike. All right, let me finish Pool C. We have Colorado Cyclones at 1-1, Fairbanks, Alaska Gold Panthers 2-0, Kansas Cannons 1-1, and the San Antonio, Texas Angels 0-2. So the Gold Panthers have played 2 games. Everybody has played 2 games now. They will be playing tomorrow, and I'll give you, as Seidel goes to first base, that brings up the first baseman, number 2, Jesse Jenner. He's had the big hit in the first inning as he hit that triple. They were fouled off by Jenner, who scored Pineda for the first run of the ball game. Pineda's at second base. Seidel at first. The ball gets away from the catcher. Both runners will advance as Pineda goes to third base. And Seidel moves to second base. And the count is 1 ball, 1 strike to Jesse Jenner. So the 3:30 game tomorrow, Fairbanks and Alaska Gold Panthers versus San Antonio, Texas Angels. And then our 7 o'clock game will be the Kansas Cannons versus the Colorado Cyclones. That hit hard into center field. And a great catch here by center fielder Reed Beverly as he went clear to the fence to make that catch. At the end of 2, the score is the Stars 2 and Lonestar 0. You're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcitykc.com. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back as you're watching the 85th National Baseball Congress World Series powered by Lonestar Energy. We go to the top half of the third inning. This is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer for tonight's game. The score is 2-0 in favor of San Diego Stars over the Lone Star Baseball Club. And leading off top half of the third inning will be the catcher, number 21, Justin Taylor. So far, the line for Lone Star to have no runs on 1 hit, 1 error. And for San Diego Stars, they have 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors. The first pitch is called strike 1. So the count is no balls and 1 strike. Here's Sargent's pitch. Swing and a miss there by Justin Taylor as he had a healthy cut on that one. So the count is no balls to 2 strikes now to Taylor. He kind of changed that up, trying to get Taylor to chase one outside at 76 miles an hour. So the count will go now to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Flags here at the ballpark are at half staff. And the wind is minimal. So the flag's basically straight down. 2-2 now the count. That one lifted into left field. Left fielder Leo Clark backing up, making the catch for out number 1. That will bring up the shortstop, number 24, Johnny Hoyle. So our 7 o'clock game tomorrow is the Kansas Cannons versus Colorado Cyclones. Then our 9:30 game is going to be a great game. A diving effort there by Clark in left field as he makes the catch. That was Johnny Hoyle that hit that into left center field. And a spectacular catch there by Leo Clark as he dove for that one and made the catch. That will bring up the designated hitter, number 5, Ryan McPhail. Our 9:30 game tomorrow will be the Seattle Washington Studs versus the San Diego California Waves. And that one also a very important game, as Cheney in Pool A is 2-0. San Diego California Waves is 1-1. The Seattle Washington Studs 1-1. And the Texas Express 1-1. So Cheney will play Texas Express and San Diego will be playing Seattle. So one of those 2 teams will go to 1-2. Depending on what happens between Texas and Cheney, will depend who stays in. Remember earlier I was saying about differential. That ball is fouled off to the right-hand side. The count is no balls and 2 strikes. As I was saying earlier, the differential once again for the Stars is +3. And for the Lone Star Baseball Club, it is +2. Because one of these teams is going to go 1-1 after a loss here tonight. So count now, no balls, 2 strikes. And missing for ball 1. Once again, the batter, designated hitter number 5, Ryan McPhail. Swing and a miss there by McPhail as he goes down swinging for out number 3. So at the end of 2.5, the score, the Stars 2 and Lone Star 0. And you're listening to NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at
I hope you've enjoyed your day at X
We'll be right
Stadium.
back.
We've got a great evening of weather for you. It will stay nice and quiet. A little bit on the warm and muggy side, though. Temperatures down into the upper 70s as we cool through the evening. Overnight, 70 degrees. Tomorrow, hot and humid with partly cloudy skies. Temperatures climbing to near 90 degrees tomorrow afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
And we welcome you back as we go to the bottom half of the third inning. Leading off for the Stars will be the second baseman, number 33, Brady Jocelyn. Jocelyn, second time at the plate as he reached on an error in the first inning to the third baseman. As I was saying, there's 4 pools, A, B, C, and D. Only 3 teams. They will take the top 3 teams in each pool, will advance to single elimination bracket, which starts on Thursday. The first place team from each pool will receive a bye before starting elimination play on Thursday. I would say on Friday because it's the 8th. But here's how the tiebreakers work. The win-loss record, number 1. Second is head-to-head. Third is total runs differential for all games played in pool play, wins and losses. There's out number 1. 5-3 put out for the first out. Brings up the catcher, number 13, Luke Arias, who grounded out to the third baseman in the first inning as he made the second out. And then the fewest runs allowed per inning played defensively. And the 5th tiebreaker is the total runs scored during pool play. So there could be some teams that end up 1 and 2, and determining on how they did head-to-head. Then the run differential. That's why I gave you those plus and minus on the teams here tonight, so you know where they stand. Count is 2 balls, no strikes to Arias. An 87-mile-an-hour fastball missing high for ball 3. So Garrett Bowes falls behind on Arias. That one, ball 4, as that was low and outside. So Arias will go to first base now on a base on balls. And that will bring up the right fielder, number 17, Cabot Van Til. So we have a runner at first base with 1 down here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. 2-0 in favor of San Diego Stars over the Lone Star Baseball Club from Texas. Ball hit up the middle. A base hit there by Van Til. And the shortstop moved to his left, but had no chance to get to it. That was Johnny Hoyle. So Van Til will get his first hit of the game. Moving to second base is Arias, and that will bring up the third baseman, number 11, Joey Krug. Krug grounded out to third base his first time up. And here's the pitch. That one missing for ball 1. So Van Til goes to 1-1 here for the ball game as he took a walk the first time, now standing at first base after that base hit. Krug looking for his first hit of the World Series. There's a hard hit ball to third baseman. A great job there by third baseman Cordman, and he's able to get the force out at third base as the ball came out of his glove, but then he was able to pick it up and run to the base before Arias made it to third base. So Krug will receive a fielder's choice, and we have an unassisted at third base for out number 2 as Van Til will go to second base. That will bring up the left fielder number 30, Leo Clark. And a check swing there by Clark, but called strike. That hit the inside corner. 87 miles an hour fastball. So no balls, 1 strike now to Leo Clark. And the runners take off. There's a throw down to third base. Not going to be in time as safely is Van Til at third. And Krug is now at second base. And very aggressive play there by the Stars as both runners take off on a double steal. Throw was there, but just not in time. That one hit to the right-hand side is going to be out of play. So the count will go to no balls, 2 strikes. That was the 58th pitch thrown by Bose. He's got 33 strikes and 25 balls. A swing and a miss there by Clark as he goes down for out number 3. So at the end of 3 innings played, the San Diego, California Stars 2 and the Lone Star Baseball Club from Texas 0. And you're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back for the 85th National Baseball Congress World Series, powered by Westar Energy. As we go to the top half of the 4th inning, the score 2-0 in favor of the San Diego Stars over the Lone Star Baseball Club. Now batting for Lone Star will be the left fielder number 6, Sean Denny. First pitch, a breaking ball at 73 miles an hour in there for call strike 1. Jake Surgent now starting his 4th inning of work. That one calls strike 2 on the outside corner. So the count will now go to no balls and 2 strikes. Quite a gap between right field and center field. That's a swing and a miss there. Change up by Sargent at 74 miles an hour. And Denny goes down swinging for out number 1. That will bring up the center fielder, number 7, Reed Beverly. Beverly struck out his first time at the plate as he made the second out of the inning number 1. First pitch to Denny is ball 1. Correction to Beverly is ball 1. That one in there for strike 1 and right across the letters. So that will even up the count now at 1 ball, 1 strike. And Sargent now, that was his 41st pitch, got 31 strikes and 10 balls. That ball hit to the third baseman. Krug goes over to first base to Jenner for out number 2. So a 5-3 put out as Krug just took a couple steps to the left, scooped it up and over to first base. It's going to bring up the first baseman, number 32, Charlie Overstreet. Overstreet was 0 for 1 so far in the ball game, and he was batting .250 after the first game as he was 1 for 4. He grounded out to the shortstop to make the third out in the first inning. First pitch is strike one to Overstreet. Right-handed thrower against the left-handed batter. Swing and a miss there by Overstreet. Overstreet is from Dripping Springs, Texas. Hendrix University, where he's a junior. That almost hits Overstreet as that was way inside. Does get away from the catcher. So the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 down here in the top half of the fourth inning. As the score is 2-0 in favor of the San Diego Stars, as they scored both those runs in the first inning. And here's Surgeon's pitch, just missing for ball 2. So that will even up the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. That one hit into center field to the right of the second baseman. So Overstreet records his first hit of the ball game. So he'll be standing at first base, and that will bring up the second baseman, number 1, Miguel Torres. And here's Surgeon's pitch. A ball hit to the shortstop. Shortstop Salinas goes to second base, Jocelyn for the force out. And that is the end of the inning. So at the end of 3.5, it is the Stars 2 and Lone Star 0. You're listening to NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back. You're watching the San Diego, California Stars, who are up 2-0 over the Lone Star Baseball Club. We go to the bottom half of the fourth inning. And leading off for the Stars will be the shortstop, number 3, Tristan Salinas. And Bo starts his fourth inning of work. First pitch is ball 1 to Salinas. Ball hit deep into center field. Center fielder Beverly backing up, making the catch for out number 1. That will bring up the center fielder number 1, Kyle Pineda. Pineda is 2 for 2 here in the ball game, as he has 2 singles in the first and in the second inning. Scored a run in the first. First pitch is high, a 74 mile an hour. So 1-0 now to Pineda. who is a center fielder for the Stars. That one fouled off by Pineda, so that will even up the count now to 1 ball and 1 strike. So we've got a pretty decent crowd here tonight. It is about 10:47 Central Time. Temperature still at 80 degrees. Two balls, 1 strike to Pineda as we have one down here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. That ball hit to the shortstop. Hoyle goes over to first for out number 1. So a 6-3 put out for the second out. Going to bring up the designated hitter, number 19, Dallas Seidel. Seidel walked his first time. Correction, struck out the first time and walked the second time. So he's 0 for 1 here in the ball game. That one, a floater to the third baseman. Corman makes the catch for out number 3. So at the end of 4 innings of play, the San Diego Stars 2 and the Lone Star Baseball 0. And you're listening to NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back. This is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer, as we go to the top half of the 5th inning between the Lone Star Baseball Club and the San Diego, California Stars. The score is 2-0 in favor of the Stars. And leading off the top half of the 5th inning for Lone Star will be the third baseman, number 12, Alex Corman. Corman flew out to the shortstop in the second inning as he made the second out of the inning. Strike 1 is the call to Corman. That one missing high for ball 1 at 88 mile an hour, correction, 83 miles an hour. When you get my age, the 8s and the 3s all look alike. Ball hit to the shortstop. Salinas goes over to first for out number 1. That brings up the right fielder, number 8, Thomas Craig. Craig is 0 for 1 as he struck out in the second inning as he made the third out of that inning. There's a change up there at 74 miles an hour. It goes in there for strike 1 by Sargent. And here's the second pitch. That one also, he really took something off of that one as that floated in at 69 miles an hour, but missing high. And the count will go to 1 ball, 1 strike. And working awful fast is Sargent. Swing and a miss there by Craig. So the count will now go to 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we have one down here in the top half of the 5th inning. 2-0 in favor of the Stars. That one just missing the corner. Let's see. Threw another change up there, looked like. At 73 miles an hour. That one is hit right in front of home plate. Sargent moves to his right and makes the play. Great job there by Jake Sargent as he hustled off the mound and got that ball between home plate and third base and fired over to first for the second out. So a 1-3 put out for the second out. And that will bring up the catcher, number 21, Justin Taylor. Ball hit hard down the third base line. Krug tried to make that backhand, but was not able to get it. And Taylor is in with his first hit of the game. That was a hard line shot right down the line. A great effort there by Krug, but just was not able to contain it. So we have Taylor on at first base. That will bring up the shortstop, number 24, Johnny Hoyle. Hoyle looking for his first hit of the World Series, as he was 0 for 2 in the first game and is 0 for 1 here tonight. Hoyle also from Dripping Springs, Texas, as he's a freshman out of Central Missouri. Sorry, don't have the height and weight on these players. Sometimes teams don't give us that information. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. To Johnny Hoyle. There's a ball hit to the right-hand side. That's going to be falling in for a base hit. So Hoyle records his first hit of the World Series as he just stuck his bat out and made great contact. Floated over second baseman's head for the base hit. So Taylor moves to second. Hoyle on at first. Has 2 consecutive base hits now by Lone Stars. They got something going with 2 down. That will bring up designated hitter number 5, Ryan McPhail. Ball hits the third, that's a base hit between the third baseman and shortstop. Here comes a Taylor rounding third base. Going to the third base will be Hoyle, and now at second base is McPhail. So McPhail records a hit, a single, goes to second on the throw, and he gets an RBI. And Taylor scores from second base, as the score now is 2-1 in favor of the San Diego Stars. Now batting will be the left fielder, number 6, Sean Denning. So Hoyle is on at third base, McPhail at second, as Lone Star has scored here with 2 outs. That one across the home plate for strike 1. So the count will go now to 1 ball, 1 strike to Sean Denning. Ball hit to the shortstop, and that gets by him. Going to score is Hoyle from third base, also McPhail from second. So 3 runs have scored now here in the top half of the 5th inning for Lone Star baseball. And Denny gets his first hit of the ball game. Oh, correction, they give him an error. I'm sorry, my bad. That's an error by the shortstop, as official scorer thought he should have had that. He was hit awful hard, but so that will be an error on the shortstop. So the score now 3-2 in favor of Lone Star. And now batting will be the center fielder, number 7, Reed Beverly. I was kind of blocked off there a little bit by McPhail as he cut in front of the shortstop, and I wasn't sure whether that one into center field, in for a base hit. Rounding second base is Denny, as he will now be at third base. Great job of base running there by Lone Star Baseball. And a base hit by Reed Beverly. He records his first hit of the game. So now there is runners at first and third with 2 down. Once again, all this with 2 outs by Lone Star as they have scored 3 runs. And now San Diego Stars call timeout as they talk it out. Head coach now heading back. And so now batting will be the first baseman, number 32, Charlie Overstreet. So 4 hits and 1 error have created 3 runs here in the top half of the 5th inning. And runners at first and third with still 2 down. And there goes Beverly. Ball hit to the second baseman. Jocelyn goes to first for out number 3. So a 4-3 put out. So at the end of 4.5 innings of play, it is the Lone Star Baseball 3 and the San Diego Stars 2. And you're listening to NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com. We'll be right back.
Come from the sea, come to you. I heard the laughing. Come from the sea, come to you. I'm someone like you. Na 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 na. I'm going to Wichita. I'm going to Wichita. I'm going to Wichita. And I'm going to Wichita.
Learn more at visitwichita.com.
And we welcome you back as we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. The score now is the Lone Star Baseball Club 3 and the San Diego, California Stars 2. Leading off for the Stars in the bottom half of the 5th inning will be the first baseman, number 2, Jesse Jenner. And Garrett Bose. That ball is hit into left field. The left fielder makes the catch for out number 1. On the first pitch, that will bring up the second baseman, number 33, Brady Jocelyn. Jocelyn reached on an error in the first inning and was left stranded at second base. And then he grounded out to the third baseman as he started off the third inning with the first out. That one called strike 1. 74-mile-an-hour pitch by Bose. That one missing for ball 1. Two and one now, the count. And here's the pitch. 87-mile-an-hour fastball missing outside, so the count goes to 3 balls, 1 strike as we have 1 down here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. The score 3-2 in favor of Lone Star, and it is ball 4 to Jocelyn, so he'll be on base as he reaches base for the second time here this evening. As he reached also in the first inning with an error. It's going to bring up the catcher, number 13, Luke Arias. And I do want to tell you folks that we get most of these pronunciations from the coaching staff. There's some that we have to go directly to the players if they're available. That ball hit to the left side shortstop. Hoyle goes to first, and Overstreet makes the tag there at first base for out number 2. Moving over to second base is Jocelyn. So a 6-3 put out for the second out. That will bring up the right fielder, number 17, Cabot Van Til. So I was going to say that the reason I brought that up was sometimes coaches call players by nicknames, and so when we ask them, they give us the nickname, and we're thinking that's the full name or that's how you pronounce the name. I had that happen the other day, and somebody that was listening in said that's not how you pronounce his name, but we got it corrected. So there's a throw down the third base. They may have him. They sure do. That ball got away from the catcher, but was able to throw him out. Nice job by Taylor and a good tag by Kornman. So at the end of 5 innings of play, it is Lone Star Baseball 3 and the San Diego Stars 2. And you're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back as we go to the top half of the 6th inning. The score is 3-2 in favor of Lone Star. Leading off for Lone Star Baseball, the second baseman, number 1, Miguel Torres. Pitch at 85 miles an hour by Sargent. Misses high for ball 1. Once again, we thank you very much for tuning in. We hope you're enjoying the telecast. Don't forget to share it. 2-0 now the count to Torres as he struck out the first time and it got on with a fielder's choice. Call strike 1. So the count now is 2 balls and 1 strike. Here, the last ball game of the evening. That one missing outside at 84 miles an hour. So the count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike to Miguel Torres, the second baseman for Lone Star Baseball. Ball hit to the right-hand side. First baseman Jenner moves over to the right, makes the catch for out number 1. Also charging was the right fielder Van Til and the second baseman Jocelyn. So the put out is F3 for out number 1. That will bring up the third baseman, number 12, Alex Kornman. That one low for ball 1 at 85 miles an hour. When he changes it up, he goes about 73 to 69, somewhere about that vicinity. Then another fastball fouled off to the left-hand side. And the coach on the third base side tries to get that, and he falls down. Looked like he was trying to make a snowman there. Ball hit to the shortstop. Salinas goes to first for out number 2. Great effort there by Salinas. Had to charge hard. So it's a 6-3 put out for the second out. That'll bring up the right fielder, number 8, Thomas Craig. Craig struck out his first time and hit a ball back to the pitcher. Not sure. It looks like home plate umpire may have asked for timeout. There he's got his mask off. So the pitcher steps off. And a smart move there by Surgeon, as he knows that anytime the ball's inside the circle, the clock will run. Apparently, he doesn't know that if the umpire calls timeout, it also will not run. But he stepped off out of that circle. Ball missing by high for ball one. And here's the pitch. That one missing at 86 miles an hour. Fastball on the outside corner. Outside the corner, as that was awful close. But the count is 2 balls and no strikes. There's a ball hit to the left side. That's going to be a base hit by Craig, as that gets by the shortstop and the third baseman out into left field. So Craig records his first hit of the game. And actually the first hit here in the World Series, as he was 0 for 2 in the first game. So congratulations to Thomas Craig. You are now in the record books. Officially, I should say. That brings up the catcher, number 21, Justin Taylor. Ball hits to the right-hand side. Giving chase is Van Til, but not going to be able to make the play as that goes in the bullpen. So the count is no balls, 1 strike. We have 2 down here in the top half of the 6th inning with Thomas Craig on at first base, as he just recorded his first hit here in the World Series. 3-2 is the score in favor of Lone Star Baseball, and they are up the bat. That one missing high for ball 1, a fastball at 85 miles an hour. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss there by Taylor, as the count now goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. This game going at a decent pace. That one fouled off by Taylor. Great job of keeping his hands back, because Sargent had thrown a changeup of some sorts and looked like Taylor was ready to swing, and then all of a sudden he kind of slowed down his hands, kept his hands back, and was able to make contact. Otherwise, he would have been well ahead of that pitch. That one missing outside for ball 2. So the count will even up now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And now first baseman Jenner comes over to talk to Sargent. Pats him on the shoulder and then on the behind and says, let's go get him. You got 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs, and you got 8 other guys supporting you here on the field. So the Taylor steps out, and here's the pitch. That ball hits the third baseman. Third baseman Krug will go to Jocelyn at second base for the force out. So at the end of 5 1/2, it is Lone Star Baseball 3 and the San Diego Stars 2. And you're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back. You're watching the San Diego, California Stars and the Lone Star Baseball Club. If you're just now joining us, though, need to let you know that the score is 3-2 in favor of Lone Star. And leading off here in the bottom half of the sixth inning for the Stars will be the right fielder, number 17, Cabot Van Til. Van Til, a left-handed batter. That ball hit to the second baseman and gets by. Looks like that is a base hit there by Van Til. That was a hard hit ball past the second baseman. So Van Til records his second hit of the ball game. That will bring up the third baseman, number 11, Joey Krug. First pitch missing for ball one. Once again, if you're just now joining us, the San Diego Stars scored 2 runs in the bottom half of the first inning, and it stayed like that until we got to the top half of the fifth inning, with Lone Star put together a little rally with 2 outs, as we had 4 hits and 1 error. And they scored 3 runs. Once again, that all with 2 outs in the top half of the fifth inning. So far, the line for Lone Star is 3 runs on 7 hits and 1 error. And there's a hard hit ball to the right fielder, and the right fielder's not going to be able to get to it as that falls in front of him. Right fielder is now, looks like it's Salinas. So there's a change out in right field. Number 4, Salinas. And here comes head coach, and that may be all for Garrett Bowes. As Krug gets a base hit, a back-to-back base hit here in the bottom half of the sixth inning. And coming in to pitch for the Stars, looks like it's going to be number 22 pitching for San Diego. Correction, that is for Lone Star, my bad. That is Grant Gaspard. He's a right-handed thrower from Dripping Springs, Texas, from Texas Lutheran University, where he's a junior. Once again, now pitching number 22, Grant Gaspard. So let me get him down in the books here. And I'll give you the final numbers on Bowes for the Lone Star, Texas. Okay, Bowes goes 5 innings, gives up 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 4 base on balls, and 2 strikeouts as he faced 25 batters. So Grant Gaspard now pitching for Lone Star. First batter he'll face is the left fielder, number 30, Leo Clark, and he squares around a bunt. Great bunt there along the third base side, but it's going to be foul. I actually thought he was going to go down the line from my angle, but that was well foul. So the count is no balls, one strike. I love small ball. When you get guys on base, you try to move them over and get them in scoring position. I see a lot of teams this year where they let the batter hit against the new baseball. That ball now hit down the third base side. And making a great play there is Gaspard as he goes down the line, goes to first with the second baseman Torres covering for out number one. But Van Til will move to third base on the sacrifice. Krug will go to second. And now batting will be the shortstop number 3, Tristan Salinas. Hard hit ball to the third baseman. Great job there by the third baseman, Kornman, as he knocked that one down to his left and was able to pick it up and throw Salinas out at first base as Salinas slid head first. But the umpire was right there and called him out for out number 2. So a 5-3 put out for the second out. A great defensive play there by Kornman. That brings up the center fielder number 1, Kyle Pineda, who is 2 for 3 here tonight. And I'll try to get that defensive change because they're showing Salinas out in right field. That would be Chase Salinas now playing right field. Count goes 2 balls, no strikes. We have runners at second and third with 2 down here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. 3-2 is the score. Quick, and now they're going to intentionally walk Pineda as he will go to first base. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, number 19, Dallas Seidel. A left-handed batter against a right-handed pitcher. And here's the pitch. Outside for ball 1. So now we have Van Til at third base, Krug at second, and Pineda at first base. That one also missing for ball 2 at 86 miles an hour. And we have a cold front here in Wichita. It just dipped down to 79 degrees. Ball fouled off by Seidel. And of course, you know I'm just kidding. So the count is 2 balls, 1 strike with 2 outs, bases loaded. Here in the bottom half of the 6th inning, a good ball game. Hope you're enjoying the telecast on YouTube or Facebook Live. We're doing both this year. Ball hit into left field. That's going to fall in for a base hit into the gap. As coming around to score is Van Til and Krug. Also coming around third base is Pineda, and ended up in second base as the ball gets away as it comes in. And now going to third base will be Seidel with a double. 3 RBIs. So 3 more runs have scored for the San Diego Stars. The score now is 5-3 in favor of San Diego. And I'm sure there's probably going to be an error there somewhere as that ball got away from the third baseman. Coming up to bat will be the first baseman, number 2, Jesse Jenner. And that allowed Seidel to go to third base. An error on the center fielder. So had officially a double and 3 RBIs, and then an error on the center fielder on the throw. Ball hit hard into left field. Left fielder Denny gets under and makes the catch for out number 3. But not before the San Diego Stars scored 3 runs. So at the end of 6 inning plays, the Stars 5 and Lone Star 3. You're listening to NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back to the 85th National Baseball Congress Bowl Series. As we go to the top half of the 7th inning, the score, the San Diego, California Stars 5 and the Lone Star Baseball Club 3. Leading off the top half of the 7th inning will be the shortstop, number 24, Johnny Hoyle. We have McPhail on deck with Denny in the hole. A swing and a miss there by Hoyle. Didn't record a speed clock, was not up that time. Ball hit to the third baseman. Krug goes to first base and he pulls the first baseman off Jennert towards home plate area, and in safely will be Hoyle at first base. And I'm sure there's going to be an error on the throw here. It is error number for the third baseman, E5. That would bring up the designated hitter, number 5, Ryan McPhail. Count is 1 ball, no strikes to McPhail. As McPhail scored a run in the top half of the 5th inning, as he also had a base hit and an RBI in that inning. Once again, don't forget to share this telecast. Fouled off there by McPhail. So the count will go to 2 balls and 1 strike. On at first base is Johnny Hoyle as he reached on an error to the third baseman to start off the top half of the 7th inning. As Lone Star baseball is down 5-3 to the Stars from San Diego. That one hit hard. That is going to be gone. That is hit hard and got to be at least 400. And a home run, 2-run home run by designated hitter number 5, Ryan McPhail. So that will tie up the ball game at 5 apiece, and there was no doubt about it. As soon as he made that contact, that ball was gone. It is 330 down the lines, 375 in the gaps, and 390 out to center field. And that was well over the left field fence for the home run. So a 2-run home run by Ryan McPhail has tied this ball game up at 5 apiece. And we're going to have a pitching change for San Diego. And we'll get you that information, also give you the final numbers for Surgeon, who is actually pitching a pretty good game. Looks like it's going to be number 12 coming in to pitch for San Diego. That will be Ryan Skillman, a right-handed thrower from Chula Vista, California. A 5'10", 175-pounder, where he is uncommitted on his college. So We'll get the changes here, then I'll give you the final numbers for Sargent. So the final numbers for Sargent, he goes 6 innings, gives up 8 hits on 5 runs, 2 earned runs, and had 5 strikeouts as he faced 28 batters. But he also gave up that big home run to Ryan McPhail here in the top half of the 7th inning to tie the ball game up. And my guess that was at least 410 at least, as that cleared the left field wall. Plenty of room to spare. We have no outs here in the top half of the 7th inning, and now batting will be the left fielder number 6, Sean Denny. Once again, the score all tied up at 5 apiece now. So we have had fireworks here the last 2 innings. San Diego scored 3 runs in the bottom half of the 6th, and here in the top half of the 7th, Lone Star scores 2 runs. Forgot about the 5th, where Lone Star scored 3 runs there. First pitch is at 84 miles an hour by Skillman. And is ball 1. And here's the pitch. That one hit hard down the line, but it's going to be foul. Krug dives for it, but not able to get to it. That one hits Denny, so he'll be going to first base as Denny just turns around and gets him in the back. So we have a hit batsman here in the top half of the 7th inning, and that will bring up the center fielder, number 7, Reed Beverly, who was 1 for 3 here tonight. So he had a base hit in the 5th inning and was left stranded at first base. Had a strikeout in the 1st and grounded out to the 3rd baseman in the 4th inning. So Ryan Skillman fires that across at 82 miles an hour, but it is fouled off by Beverly. So we do have a runner at first base with no outs, as 2 runs have been scored here in the top half of the 7th inning to tie the ball game up at 5 apiece. And squaring around to bunt is Beverly. But the throw over to first base, Denny in safely. As the 3rd baseman came charging in, Krug. As Beverly had squared around before the pitch. And here's Skillman's pitch. Once again, Krug creeping in. Bunt is laid down. Great bunt along the left 3rd base side, and the catcher, Arias, lets go foul right down the line. So the count will go to no balls, 2 strikes now to Beverly. And Lone Star doing exactly what good teams do when you get a runner on base, to try to move him over, to get him in scoring position. And the thing about it is not only moving them over, but they take advantage of it. So no balls, 2 strikes, and ball thrown over to first base, but in safely is Denny. Nice move there by Skillman. Throw was just a little high off the bag. Once again, Denny getting a good lead at first base. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss there by Beverly as he goes down for out number 1. I will bring up the first baseman, number 32, Charlie Overstreet. So runner at first base with 1 down here in the top half of the 7th inning. Score tied up at 5 apiece. As Lone Star has 8 hits. There's a swing and a miss there by Overstreet. Lone Star has 8 hits and San Diego has 7 hits. There's been 2 errors by Lone Star and 1 by San Diego. Count is no balls, 1 strike now to Overstreet. And here's the pitch. Oh, no, he goes to first base instead. He was making a move. I thought he was going to come home with it, but turned quickly and went to first base. Safely is Denny. Ball missing high. That one at 84 miles an hour. Count is 1 ball, 1 strike. So Ryan Skillman now on the mound for San Diego. And there's a timeout by home plate umpire Lance Vaughn. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. A changeup, and there goes Denny to second base, and in safely is Denny as the ball gets away from shortstop Salinas. So Denny is now at second base with 1 down. And he is the go-ahead run now. So we are getting late in the ball game as we are in the 7th inning. Top half of the 7th. Count is 2 balls, 1 strike now to Overstreet. A swing and a miss at 86 mile an hour fastball that Overstreet missed. So the count will go to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner at second base with 1 down here in the top half of the 7th. Great ball game to watch. That one lifted into right field. A great job of hitting there by Overstreet. The ball thrown in home and not able to get him. And Salinas at second base as the ball was thrown to him. He came off a second. And Overstreet has had a gone past the bag, so if Salinas would have stayed there, he could have very easily tagged him out. Now there's something happening here. Not sure exactly. The umpires are getting together to find exactly what the problem is. I thought that Denny had come across, but he's standing. Well, he did come across. That's the Krug at third base. Somebody was on the base, and I'm thinking, I do see the red sleeves, Frank. I don't know what it is that's happening. Oh, I see what happened. The batter's box has come unglued again. Once again, this is artificial turf here at X Stadium. This is the second time that I have seen this here in the World Series, as we had another ball game where the same thing happened as the runner came across and slid into home. It brought up the turf, the batter's box. Those batter boxes are replaced ever so often. As you can imagine, they get wore down, and so they make those replaceable. And they're going to have to get the pellets out of the Velcro's way, get it out of the way, clean it up, so they'll be able to Velcro that back down. So we're going to take a small break, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back here to the 85th National Baseball Congress World Series. So we had to take a small break here as the batter's box on the for right-handed batters came loose. There's been 3 runs scored here in the top half of the 7th inning. The score now is 6-5 in favor of Lonestar. As Overstreet hit a double. Correction, it was a single to first base and then advanced to second base on the throw. And Sean Denny scored the third run here in the top half of the seventh inning. So far, the line reads like this. San Diego scored 2 runs in the bottom half of the first inning. And it stayed 2-0, clear to the fifth, where Lone Star scored 3 runs in the top half of the fifth inning, took a 3-2 lead. And then in the bottom half of the sixth inning, San Diego scored 3 runs to make the score 5-3. And now here that was in the bottom half of the sixth. Now here in the top half of the seventh, Lone Star has scored 3 runs to take a 6-5 lead. There is 1 out with a runner at second base, which is Overstreet. And it's going to bring up the second baseman, number 1, Miguel Torres. Once again, we thank you very much for staying with us here. Apologize about the little break there, but sometimes those things happen. And I tell you what, the grounds crew here at X Stadium, on the campus of Wichita State University, have done a fantastic job. You'll see patches along the first base, second base, and third base, as those also are replaceable. But the batter box especially, since those get wore down, get replaced ever so often. So now batting is Torres. Count is no balls and 1 strike to Torres. Skillman is the pitcher for San Diego. Here's the pitch. That one missing at 82 miles an hour. So the count will even up now at 1-1. And that might have not been a pitch there because have not put it up yet. So I'm not sure if the umpire called timeout or exactly what happened there. That one missing for ball 1, I believe. Now the count does go up to 1-1. So apparently the umpire called timeout on that last pitch. Runner at second base with 1 down. 6-5 in favor of Lone Star Baseball from Texas. The ball fouled off to the right-hand side. So that will take the count now to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Once again, we have 4 ball games tomorrow. As teams are trying to get in the top 3 to move on into bracket play. Swing and a miss there by Torres as he reached out for that one and was not able to get to it for out number 2. So that will bring up the third baseman, number 12, Alex Kornman. So Kornman's up with 2 down and a runner at second base as we are in the top half of the 7th inning, 6-5 in favor of Lone Star. That one missing outside at 83-mile-an-hour fastball by Ryan Skillman, who came in relief of Sargent. It's saying Seidel that's pitching, so I'm going to have to find out if they made a change while I was gone. And if they did, I apologize. It is. It is number 10 now pitching. I didn't catch that as I was going. That ball gets away from the catcher. Moving over to third base is Overstreet. So once again, as I was gone from the booth here while they were fixing the batter's box, San Diego brought in a new pitcher, and it is number 10 now pitching. And he's not listed, but it's showing Seidel is the pitcher. That one calls strike 2, so that even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oh, there it is. Number 10, Austin Seidel. I told you my eyes were going bad. So Austin Seidel in relief now. That one missing for ball 3, so that will take the count now to full with the runner at third base and 2 down here in the top half of the 7th inning. That one popped up to the right field. Right fielder Van Til gets under it, makes the catch for out number 3. But not before the Lone Star scores 3 runs. So at the end of 6.5 innings of play, it is Lone Star 6 and Stars 5. You're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back as we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. The score is 6-5 in favor of Lone Star, and we have a new pitcher now. Now pitching for Lone Star is number 3, Johnny Penatex. He'll be facing Jocelyn as Jocelyn hits that up the middle for a base hit. Diving stop by the second baseman, Miguel Torres, but that was in center field as he was playing back quite a ways. So Brady Jocelyn records his first hit of the ball game. They'll bring up the catcher number 13, Luke Arias, and he squares around a bunt. Nice bunt. Looks like Penatex will make the catch and goes to first for out number 1. So a sacrifice by Arias on a 1-3 put out. And going to second base is Brady Jocelyn. And let me give you the final numbers for Gaspard as he went 1 inning, gave up 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned run, and he faced 5 batters. Also, let me give you the final numbers for Skillman as he went 1/3 of an inning, gave up 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned run, 1 strikeout, and he faced 3 batters. So now batting is number 17, right fielder, Cabot Van Til. Count is no pitch has been thrown to Van Til yet. Once again, there's a runner at second base, Jocelyn, who reached on a base hit and then was sacrificed over by Arias. First pitch is ball 1 to Van Til, as Van Til is 2 for 2 here in the ball game. So he had a single in the third and a single in the sixth inning, and he also scored a run. In the sixth inning, he started off things with a single, and in the third, he was left stranded at third base. Also had been up another time, but he walked. That one gets away from the catcher. Another wild pitch, and looks like Jocelyn will move over to third base. So the tying run now is 90 feet away with one down here in the bottom half of the seventh inning. And Cabot Van Til up at the plate. Right-handed batter against a left-handed, right-handed thrower against a left-handed batter. And here's the pitch. Ball hit to the third base side. It's going to be in foul territory. Giving chase was Denny. But that was well foul. So the count is 3 balls, 1 strike to Cabot Van Til. Ball is fouled off again by Van Til, and the count will go full now at 3-2. The infield has moved in now to try to prevent that runner scoring, which is the tying run. Here in the bottom half seventh, that one. Call strike 3 as Van Til knew it right away. And he goes down for out number 2. And here comes coach for Lonestar. Nobody's warming up in the bullpen. So we'll see what Lonestar does here. Once again, runner at third base with 2 down here in the bottom half of the seventh inning. The score is 6-5 in favor of Lonestar. But San Diego does have the tying run at third base. And now batting for San Diego will be the third baseman, number 11, Joey Krug. Krug got a base hit his last time up and scored a run. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss there by Krug. 86-mile-an-hour fastball by Panatix. So the count is no balls and 1 strike. And the umpire calls timeout, so stepping off the mound is Penitex. Here's the pitch. That ball is fouled off back behind home plate. So the count is no balls and 2 strikes now to Joey Krug, the third baseman for the San Diego Stars. And another time out by home plate umpire. And here's the pitch. That great job of protecting the plate there by Krug. That was on the outside corner. Just stuck his bat out and was able to make some contact. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss there by Krug as he changed through that fastball at 85 miles an hour. So at the end of 7 innings of play, it is Lonestar 6 and San Diego 5. You're listening to NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back. You're watching the Lone Star Baseball Club versus the San Diego, California Stars. Lone Star from Texas. As we go to the top half of the 8th inning. Top half of the 8th inning. There's a penalty on the batter. Strike one is the call. As you heard the horn sound. Swinging for strike two. Batting is the now pinch hitting is number 19. Pinch hitting was number 19 there for Lone Star. That was Pat DeLulio, correction. And he's from Round Rock, Texas. But he went down swinging. Now batting is the catcher, number 21, Justin Taylor. And I believe it's DeLulio. Apologize to the parents. Hope that is correct. 2 balls, no strikes now to Justin Taylor as we have one down. (3-0) now the count. Austin Seidel in relief. As it came in last inning. So 3 balls, no strikes. And here's the pitch. Fastball missing high for ball 4, that 82 miles an hour. So Justin Taylor will be on at first base with a base on balls. And then we'll bring up the shortstop, number 24, Johnny Hoyle. So we'll see who takes right field this next inning. Whether it's DeLulio, correction. Say it like it looks, Frank. Count is 1 ball, no strikes to Hoyle. Taylor at first base with 1 down here in the top half of the 8th inning. 6-5 is the score in favor of Lone Star. And here's Seidel's pitch. Fastball at 82 miles an hour. Missing for ball 2. And Lone Star looking for some insurance runs here. As there's only 1 down here in the top half of the 8th. And here's the pitch. Ball is fouled off by Hoyle. That went at 81 miles an hour. 2 balls, 1 strike now. Still a decent crowd here on a Sunday night. Apparently some of these spectators are retired or don't have to go to work. Or they may be working second shift. Swing and a miss. The count will now go to 2 balls, 2 strikes. I know a lot of people take off during the NBC World Series so they can see all the games. I remember when I was working up to about 5 years ago, that's exactly what I used to do, would take off 2 weeks just to come see some baseball. And, of course, I've been working the NBC now for 25 years, so that one fouled off, and the count stays at 2 balls, 2 strikes. But every year I always took 2 weeks of vacation just to come do ball games here at, well, at that time, Lawrence Dumont Stadium. Now we're at X Stadium. There goes the runner. Breaking ball missing, and sliding off second base was Justin Taylor. So that's going to be a strikeout and a throw out for out number 3. So at the end of 7.5, it is Lone Stars 6 and the San Diego Stars 5. And you're listening to NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back as we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. The score is the Lone Star Baseball 6 and the San Diego Stars 5. His second inning of work is Johnny Penitex. He'll be facing looks like this may be a pinch hitter, number 20. For the Stars. Check and see exactly who that is. 20 is Ryan Culp. Now pinch hitting for San Diego. He's from Santee, California, 5'10". Correction, 5'9", 170-pounder from San Diego Christian College. Count is 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ryan Culp. That ball hit right back to the pitcher. And attacks goes to first for out number 1. So a 1-3 put out for the out. That will bring up the shortstop, number 3, Tristan Salinas. Salinas looking for his first hit here in the ball game. As grounded out, swing and a miss there by Salinas. As he grounded out to the pitcher, flew out to center field, and then grounded out to the third baseman. So he's 0 for 3 here in this ball game. Ball hit right back to the pitcher, and he'll be going 0 for 4 as Penitex makes the play to first base for the second out. So far, Tristan Salinas is 0 for 8 here in the World Series. And that will bring up the center fielder, number 1, Kyle Pineda. A high fly ball in the infield. It looks like the shortstop's going to take charge. Hoyle makes the catch for out number 3. So at the end of 8 innings of play, it is the Lone Star Baseball 6 and San Diego Stars 5. And you're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back as we go to the top half of the ninth inning. The score is 6-5 in favor of Lone Star Baseball from Texas. They lead the San Diego Stars. Leading off in the top half of the ninth inning will be the designated hitter number 5, Ryan McPhail. McPhail hit the big hit in the 7th inning as he hit a 2-run home run to tie the ball game up at 5 apiece. First pitch is ball 1 now to McPhail. And Austin Seidel still on the mound for San Diego. That one also missing for ball 2 now, 79 mile an hour. And here's the pitch. That one a fastball at 81 miles an hour, and that's in for a strike 1. So the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Even played ball game here tonight. That one is fouled off by McPhail, as Lone Star has scored 6 runs off of 9 hits and 2 errors, and San Diego has scored 5 runs off of 8 hits and 2 errors. And here's the pitch. That one hit to the third base side. Krug comes in, makes the play at first for out number 1. Krug is a 6-foot, 135-pounder, moves very well for his size. That would bring up the left fielder number 6, Sean Denny. That one missing for ball 1. We have 1 down here in the top half of the 9th. Had to open up the window and the door because it's gotten awful chilly in here. That one fouled off by Denny. So the count will take 1 ball and 1 strike. We were talking about that earlier today, and I said, well, you know what? I'd rather have it be cool or cold than hot, because we can always add layers on, but we sure in the heck don't want to see everybody standing around with having to take some clothes off. That would be very, very uncomfortable. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Fouled off by Denny. We are in the top half of the 9th inning. And Austin Seidel on the mound. That one missing outside. Breaking ball at 74 miles an hour. So the count will now go to 2 balls, 2 strikes. This crew of umpires have done a really good job. That one missing outside for ball 3 now. Full count to Sean Denning. He's still looking for his first hit of the game. He got hit by a batsman, or got hit last time up the plate and scored the go-ahead run on a single by Overstreet. Swing and a miss there by Denny as he goes down for the second out. And we'll bring up the center fielder, number 7, Reed Beverly. Called strike 1 on the outside corner. An 81 mile an hour fastball by Seidel. So the count is no balls, one strike. Once again, there's two down here in the top half of the ninth. That ball hit hard to the shortstop. Salinas goes to first for out number 3. So at the end of 8.5 innings of play, it is Lone Stars 6 and the San Diego Stars 5. And you're listening to NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back as we go to the bottom half of the ninth inning. The score is 6-5 in favor of the Lone Star Texas team over the San Diego Stars. First pitch is called strike one to Dallas Seidel. The designated hitter. That one missing outside for ball one, so that will even up the count at 1-1. Number 3, Johnny Panatix is the pitcher. That one also missing outside for ball 2. Last thing that Lone Star wants to do, and that is put a runner on. Swing and a miss there by Seidel. All they need now is 3 outs. That one fouled off. Once again, one of these two teams is going to go to 1-1, and the other one will go to 2-0, and will definitely make the cutoff as they take 3 teams from each pull. That ball is fouled off by Seidel. The count is 2 balls, 2 strikes here in the bottom half of the ninth inning. Good ball game. There's the pitch that fouled off by Seidel. And ball boy comes out and hands the umpires more baseballs as he's fouled off about 3 or 4 in a row. Here's the pitch. That one fouled off again, but stays in the field of play this time. It's now 12:16 in the morning. We hope you're staying with us on this exciting game. It's about 146 watching, so we hope you have enjoyed it. Messing outside for ball 3, so that will take the count now to full at 3-2. Once again, San Diego needs a base runner on. That one fouled off once again. And a great job of hitting, protecting the plate there by Dallas Seidel. Good time at the plate here for him as he's hanging tough. That one hits the fouled also around the first base side. That one also fouled off. So both Penitex and Seidel working hard here in the ninth inning. I haven't kept track exactly how many he's fouled off, but it's been a handful. That one, ball 4 as he misses inside, so Dallas Seidel will be on with a walk And not sure what's going on here, but I think there's going to have a pinch runner at first base. It looks like it's going to be number 36 coming in for San Diego, pinch running. And that will be Mario Morales from San Diego, California, 5'10", 165-pounder. So Morales is on at first base. And Jesse Jenner now up at the plate. Call strike one. So the count will go now to 1-1 strike to Jenner. Jenner is the young man that hit a triple in the first inning as Pineda scored after he had gotten a base hit. And then Jenner scored on an error to the third baseman as they scored 2 runs to start off the bottom half of the first inning. Swing and a miss there by Jenner. So that will take the count now to 2-2 strikes. Didn't see the speed gun that time, so sorry I couldn't give you a reading on it. It is the 9th inning, the bottom half of the 9th inning, 6-5 in favor of Lone Star as San Diego's trying to get back in it. This one's flied out to right field. The right fielder, DeLillo. Correction. Makes the catch for out number 1. And that brings up the second baseman, number 33, Brady Jocelyn. And now here comes coach for Lone Star. And I think we're going to may have a pitching change. There is somebody out there warming up. See if I can get a number here. Looks like it's number 10 warming up for Lone Star. And it is Brady Shields warming up. But we're going to stay with Panatex. As we have runner at first base, Morales, with 1 down. Now batting, the second baseman, number 33, Brady Jocelyn. First pitch is called strike 1, 84-mile-an-hour fastball. Jocelyn is, that ball hits the right-hand side. Second baseman Torres going out to right field, making the catch for out number 2. So nice catch there by Torres for the second out. That will bring up the catcher number 13, Luke Arias. That hit into the ground, but Morales was heading back towards first base. That one injured the catcher, Taylor, as he's holding his hip area. Now he takes both hands to the knees and squats down as he's trying to catch his breath there. And nice round of applause there for Mr. Taylor. As we're ready to play ball. Count is 1 ball, no strikes with 2 down here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. The score 6-5 in favor of Lone Star. That one calls strike 1. So that will even up the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. Runner at first base with 2 down. There's been 2 fly balls, 1 to right field, 1 to second. The ball is popped up into the outfield. Center fielder Beverly makes the catch for out number 3, and that is the ball game with the final score. the Lone Star Baseball Club from Texas, 6, and the San Diego, California Stars, 5. So congratulations goes to Lone Star as they now go 2-0 here in Pool D, as they have had a win of the score 3-1 over Derby Twins, and now a win of 6-5 over the San Diego, California Stars. So their next game is very important for the Stars as they now drop to 1-1. They have played Liberal, and they will be facing Derby. That is San Diego. And Lone Star will be facing the Liberal BJs in the next game. So once again, our action for tomorrow. We have at 1 o'clock. Well, this one here doesn't have it, so. But anyway, our action starts tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We have 4 games. We hope you join us. Once again, we thank you very much for joining us here this evening. This is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer, wishing you a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock.